Hello and welcome to this tutorial video for the Regen custom face script, which I've called that because, I don't know, it describes what it does. Anyways, you've probably seen this on the FM Scout website, as I am currently on right now. The thing this does is that if you have a custom Regen face pack, like I do, if you just use the regular automatic assignment that's been floating around on various websites, you're going to end up with players such as, just using my own save file here, Fernando Neto, who is distinctly black in his skin color, with suddenly a white face, or reverse, suddenly you're going to have a guy with a Scandinavian sounding name look like he's from Aboriginal Australia, which is not technically impossible, but you catch my drift. I would like the ethnicity of the Regen faces to match the actual Regens. And I found a script that did roughly that online, however it wasn't very consistent. So thus I decided to take it and make it better, and while I was doing it I decided to add hair color to it as well. So for example, this guy, he's a little ginger. Well, I added it so that he would actually be assigned a face with red hair. So that was the introduction. Let's get to how to actually install it, because it's a little complicated. Anyways, as you can see here, this is the page on FM Scout. I will also link to it in the description. Also, if you're interested in the exact Regen faces I'll be using here, they are called the Better Regen Faces FIFA Edition. They are also by me, also on FM Scout, and I will also be doing a tutorial videos on those separately. So go find them if you want, but you can use anything. Anyways, starting simply, it's quite simple, just download the files. Alright, FM Scout being FM Scout, and download them from Mediafire in this case. Right, for some reason my internet is really slow today. Usually not that slow. But regardless, once you have downloaded it, you're going to have to use something like WinZip or WinRAR to open it, considering they're currently compacted in a zip file. And once you've downloaded it, you get this page. All of this, actually, first of all, before you go too far, you need to know if you currently have Python installed on your computer. Python is a programming language and framework, and it's what this script runs on. I will say, if you don't know if you have Python installed, you probably don't. But regardless, this file, the python-377 la da da, install that. Alternatively, because I'm pretty sure I made this file a while ago, go to Python's own website and install it directly from there, then you're sure to get the newest version. Anyways, extract all that. Whoops, I'm just going to do this. Extract that to your Football Manager folder, which is quite simply I just picked one that I've already loaded, not the tactics, but just the main folder. So it just says C. In my case, I've moved my Football Manager folder, so it's just on my root drive. Yours will probably be users/documents/sports interactive/Football Manager 2020, if I'm remembering that correctly at least. Anyways, click OK. I'm not going to do it because, well, I've already done it. And remember to run the Python installer before moving on if you haven't already. Anyways, good. Once you've done that, your FM folder should look something like this. So the part that makes this different to the others is how the faces are sorted. This script faces folder is where all the faces are stored. As you can see, they're split into overarching ethnicities. So I've got Africa, Asia Center, Asia East, Europe North, Europe South, Hispanic, Middle East, mixed. So a lot of these can be duplicated. For example, in my Better Regen Faces face pack, the one with the FIFA faces, Europe North, Europe South, and Hispanic are all the same. Africa and mixed are the same. Middle East and Asia Center are the same, and then Asia East separately. So I actually only have 4 separate ethnic groups. But if you do want, you can split them as far as you want into these, how many other? 8. Within these, there are also 5. This is within each of these, for the record. Within each of these, there are 5 folders. And these folders are pre-made in the download, but they are not full of faces. There's one single face there, because otherwise the compressing of the zip will close it. But just remove that and insert your own. But yeah, they're split into black, blonde, dark brown, light brown, and red. And again, I've duplicated some of these for me personally. However, if you want, you can definitely split them in so there are no duplicates whatsoever. So here in the red, obviously you have the red hairs, or the brown with the red tips. In the dark brown, you have the browns. In the blondes, you have the blondes. Or in my case, I chose to put the colors here also. And just to reiterate, this is a face pack that I created. I took the Regen faces from FIFA 21, who actually did a really good job this year. Don't play FIFA much, but I'll give them credit where credit's due. And I cut them out and used them for FM. You can find the link in the description, else just go on FM Scout and search FM20 Better Regen Faces FIFA Edition. Anyways, so once you've taken your faces and organized them into this, you should then have... Once you've done that, all of this is actually outside of Football Manager itself. So once you've organized your faces, you can then load into FM. So I have pre-made a shortlist here. There, script demo. It's already loaded. I'll just use the... Why did I have that loaded? Oh, I probably did a simulation or something. Anyways, so I'll just remove that as well. I don't want that right now. I only want those for the Sims. God damn it. There we go. So, as you can see here, I have preloaded a shortlist. And they currently have the regular FM Regen faces, which I personally find hideous. I really hope they improve that for FM20. I know they have a little bit. Still not sure if I like them entirely. What you then do is you make sure to... See, I already have it loaded. However, what you do is under Import View, you should now have some... If you put them in the right place, you should now have one called... In this case, Script Faces Shortlist. And of course, you can also import this from anywhere else. You load that in. You're going to get... That's not the right one. This is the right one. You're going to get this. As you can see, it's the unique ID, it's got nationality, it's got names, and then it's got these three, which are skin color, and hair length, even though the hair length isn't really used. What you then do is you make sure everything's selected, and then you press Control A, which is select all. I assume on Mac, actually I don't know, this probably doesn't work on Mac. If you're on Mac, sorry, this won't work for you, I assume. I haven't tested, I don't have a Mac. Anyways, Control A to select all, or manually select them all. And then you press Control P for print. Then you get this little pop-up. Then you click the text file. OK. And then you're going to be sent to this. And here you need to save this text file as Faces Regens with this exact capitalization. It's actually very important. And then you just click Save. Give it a moment. If it's a large shortlist, it might take a few seconds. And then we can head back out to our Football Manager main folder here. And now you run this. The Windows batch file is the one called scriptfaces.bat, not the .py, which is the Python file it takes from. Run this and give it a moment. I only had 500, so it's very fast. And in theory, all the faces are now assigned. So now you just have to reload the skin, which you do in Preferences, tick Reload Skin when confirming changes, and just click Confirm. Now, you can also just do this by restarting your game. However, personally, I find this much easier. Now, through the magic of editing, we now skip that waiting time. So, we have now actually, and let's see if it works. I really hope it worked. It certainly did. As you can notice, Thomas Epp, he was a dark-haired individual before. Now he has a Regen face with dark hair. Who was the dark-skinned ones? Fernando Neto has received a dark-skinned Regen face. Did we have any others? Let's just take a look at them just for the hell of it. John Gonzalez got a Regen face. Lucky Babalola. Again, dark Regen face matching his Nigerian nationality. And that is basically how it works. Which, it's very simple. And I'm going to end off this video by showing you a quick tip on how to get your every single regen in your save to have this. Because obviously you don't want to sit and do a shortlist for every single one. So what I would do is, in player search, just for the record, this requires that you have the in-game editor enabled for your save, otherwise this will not work. And I'm just going to clear the search filter. What you would do is, under new search, you would go into add condition, under hidden, and then you would select is new gen. And then you set that to is not, which then selects all the ones that are new gens. I don't know. Ask Sports Interactive. I didn't decide this. Anyway, so is new gen, is not. Because then you will have selected all the players in the... However, of course, worth noting, this is only all the players that you can see. What I would do, actually, is I would create, once a year, like in the summer, I would create an unemployed manager. Just create a new manager in your save game world, and make him unemployed, so he can see all the players, and then do this exact procedure from there, because then you'll make sure to get all the regens. Anyways, I said, once you've then created your unemployed manager, is new gen, is not, and then you will have selected every single new gen currently present in your game. I'm in 2024, so that's just shy of 50,000. And then you repeat the procedure, so you select this time, because I'm in the player search and not the shortlist, I select script faces player search. I Control A, which will probably take a hot minute, because there are 50,000 entries for it to load. There. And then you do exactly the same thing with Control P. And again, it's going to be slow because there are significantly more entries, of course. Text file, and faces regens. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. It's important that you follow this exact capitalization, otherwise it will not work. Just do that. Boom. And then, of course, run the script file. And just one final tip. If you're like me, you sometimes have concurrent save games. You can work around that, but that requires a little more technical know-how, because this is the folder that the script goes to. It's 1-faces regens. So what you can do, what I would do is, if, for example, now I made a separate folder for this test video compared to my usual save, what I did was I just simply made a duplicate of the folder that has... I made a duplicate of this faces regens folder, and I renamed it to the same, but RBL, for Red Bull London, considering that's my current save. And then the important thing is, in the usually this is just called config. I just added underscore RBL to identify it, because then the game will not read it as such. Then in the first folder, of course now there are a few faces here, what I would do is quite simply just delete everything else except the config file. This config file is then just named config as usual. Delete everything else, and what I would then do is, in the config file, I would... This you can choose not to do. I do it because it speeds up the automatic process. Put your cursor here, just before the first place it says record from, and then there's a unique ID. Scroll to the very bottom, shift click at the end here, and then delete. That way it's going to make it much faster when you then run it again. However, if you're not comfortable going into the config and messing around, you don't have to. The script will just run slower. I'm just going to Alt-C that, Control-C that. Don't care. Alright, so I'm just switching back to the regular scouting view. And again, there you can see some examples of the various faces having been assigned. Oh, I've missed someone. Oh, that's probably just because he wasn't in the shortlist, of course. Great. So, as said, I will drop a link in the description. And you can also just search it on FM Scout yourself with Regen Custom Face Script Accurate Skin and Hair, because, well, that is exactly what it does. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this feature, I know I made myself, this script as much as I have. It increases my immersion greatly, and I hope you have a nice day.